when you're a baby, when you first come into this world, the universe is brand new.
Yeah.
Spanking brand new, you know.
Yeah.
And you know, you slowly get to know it, really, don't you? You know, and the people in it,
Yeah.
whatever.
Mm.
And I think like when you're a child, really, you've basically got your parents looking after you, or whatever.
Mm.
You know, and you're not really independent, really. You know, you've got to do what you're told.
Yeah.
They tell you what to learn, you know, in a kind of way. But it's not until you leave the nest, basically, you become, you know, the future becomes your, you know.
Yeah.
It's up to you, really, where you take your future in a kind of way, isn't it?
What you choose to do with it.
Yeah, and I think you've got to be really careful, you know, like you've got to choose who you marry carefully, you know.
Yeah.
So on.
And your friends.
Yeah.
All these different things, you know, all these things are important, you know.
Yeah.
You know, choosing your friends wisely and the people that you trust and loyal, you know, that you are loyal to and expect them to be loyal, you know, in return. Like you said, choosing your significant other. You've got to be careful who, you know, when it comes to choosing, you know, your wife or, you know, whatever. And also, I think people have got to be careful who they kind of have children with, as children with as well. I think that's very important as well. You know, being able to, you know, sometimes today I know things happen. You know, that's just the reality of life. You know, things happen here and there. You know, and you know, that's just the way life is, and life goes on. But I think people should be careful of who they have kids with. Like, you know, ensuring that the person that they have kids with is on the same page as them in terms of like their religious views or whatever the case may be, if you see what I mean, because all that kind of stuff is important, because obviously it's a shared responsibility as a parent.
Yeah.
So you're both going to be educating them and instilling things into them, so you both need to be on the same page into regards to what you're both choosing to educate them with and instilling them as their parents, if you see what I mean, you know. And so if you've got two different people who are into a different completely wavelengths, that can cause a lot of friction, conflict straight away. That will cause a big issue straight away, especially if people are very religious, if they are very religious, if you see what I mean. If you've got one, to say, someone who's this religion and that, and an opposing religion, then it's, you know, that could be awkward as well. So it's important to choose who you're going to have kids with and all those kind of things too, you know, make sure, you know, like I said, you know, but yeah.
So in my case, I kind of like thought with my down there, you know?
Yeah.
If you see what I mean. And I think a lot of people do that, you know, like men when they're young.
Especially when they're young, yeah.
And it, you know, like, basically I didn't really get to know my wife before having sex with her, you know what I mean? And it's kind of a big mistake of mine in a kind of way, you know?
Yeah.
And I, you know, like, with her 13 years, and we got 2 children out of that, but really I think like, she angered me at the end of the day, do you know what I mean? But it's life, you know?
Yeah.
At least I'm still alive, you know?
Yeah. And you've got a lot to look forward to.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah. Like, so I don't think we're suited, and that's the thing, you know, you need to sort of like get to know the person that you're, you know, having sex with, basically, you know?
Yeah. Well, especially if you're going to choose to marry that person, and because obviously when you choose to get married, yeah, obviously the intention is to get married for life. I think that's generally most people, when they choose to get married, that is the intention.
That's what I thought.
They want to be together for life. But like you said, I think one thing that is very important is for people to get to know, like you said, to get people to get to know each other properly. You know what I mean? Maybe they need to be in a relationship for a few years, maybe live together for a few years, you know, and really get to know each other properly. Maybe say, like, let's say 5 years. You know, I think people should be together for at least 5 years, and maybe live together for at least 3 of those years, at least at minimum, before deciding whether or not they want to get married to that person and end up having a family with that person and having a future with that person. So yeah.
I mean, when you first meet somebody, I mean, when I first met my ex-wife, it's all lovely, you know, beautiful. But the last 3 years, it was a nightmare, you know. We did not get on, you know. I didn't like her and she didn't like me. We were always, you know, kind of arguing, you know, not in front of the children of mine. You know, we were trying to keep that away from them, but we just did not get on. You know, and you think, hang on, we used to, you know, wear her, but, you know, that's life, you know, and I wish really I got to know her beforehand. It's very important, you know. My future would have been completely different, you know. You know, like if I didn't, I mean, I've got 3 children, you know.
Yeah.
And I've had a family before that, and what happened with that relationship, we ended because she met somebody at a nightclub all of a sudden, you know. And my son was only 1.5 years old, do you know what I mean? And I was devastated, you know. I sort of like didn't want to live anymore, you know. But I didn't give up. You know, I went weight training. I didn't go to the pubs drinking, you know, or anything like that, you know, sort of drinking my sorrows away. I took my anger out on the weights, do you know what I mean? Yeah, and built myself up.
Yeah.
And in no time, it didn't take me long before I met quite a beautiful woman who I married and had children with, you know. And you think, like, hang on, if she didn't break up and meet this guy at the nightclub, all this would happen.
Yeah.
You know, like, it's kind of like new flowers.
And you know what was beautiful about that too, right, mate?
Yeah.
Is I don't want to overlook that. I want to share something with the people. What you went through, yeah, you use that as a motivation. Like when you first broke up, yeah, and you ended up going weight training, going to the gym. You use that heartbreak, that pain, that torment, maybe that trauma that you're going through, but you used it as a motivation.
You've got to be positive, haven't you?
To better yourself, and then look at what ended up happening after that.
Well, you've got 2 choices in life. I think you've got 2 choices in life, yeah? You either can lay down in bed or get up.
Get up, that's it.
You know, and I choose to get up.
You can either get up and you can either wake up and make your dreams happen, or stay asleep and they continue to be a dream.
You lay in bed and die. Do you know what I mean? You can either die or live.
Well, we sleep enough as it is. We sleep, you know, if like we, you know, not to go too far off topic, but as we know, a lot of people sleep 1/3 of their lives. Some people 1/4 of their lives. You know, some people maybe slightly less, but you know, we spend a lot of time asleep in our lives. So you know, the time that we are awake, you know, you've got to make the most of it. You know, and just enjoy your life and work hard. Nothing wrong with working hard.
I think the most important thing in life really is keeping yourself positive. You know, like every moment you can.
Yeah.
And like I say, like sometimes it rains.
That's it.
You know, and you have to sort of like, well, you know, life is like that. Sometimes it's rainy, sometimes it's sunny, sometimes you're in pain, sometimes you're not, whatever, you know. Sometimes a day is better than others, let's put it that way. And sometimes if you're not having a good day, remember that there might be a better day in the future, you know. It kind of works like that, you know. So I just think it's important to be positive all the time, you know. I mean, like, when I did lose my ex-wife and whatever, you know, because I was really in love with her, I was devastated. And it was just sort of like negativity for quite a number of years, really, you know.
Yeah.
And then after a while, you know, I started getting strong again, you know. It's happened to me before, you know. Like I said, you know, I lost my son, you know, and I loved him and everything, you know. But what don't kill you makes you stronger, you know. And I think, like, you've got 2 choices. You can either cry about it or stand up and laugh. You know, and I think it's just important to stand up and laugh about it. This happens to a lot of people. We're living in a very wicked world. And I think it's all down to understanding. You know, wisdom itself is all down to understanding. You know, and I think, like, you've got to be wise about the future. You know, no wise person wants to be in pain. Or, you know, I think you just got to be wise about your choices in life, you know. Like, if you do get hurt and somebody does hurt you for some reason, try to, you know, I know it's hard, you know, I mean, I couldn't laugh about it when my wife, you know, sort of took everything away from me, okay, but now I do, you know, and it takes time to sort of, you know, smile about something that horrible happened to you, but basically, you know, it just takes time to overcome these things, you know, and I just feel like I'm in a good place today.
Yeah.
And that's all over. The past is over.
Yeah.
You know, what can you do about the past apart from it's there and it's done?
Yeah.
It's been done. Whatever's happened in the past, it's there.
Yeah.
It's been done.
Yeah.
You know, like the First World War and the Second World War, everything.
Yeah.
You know, it's all been done.
And sometimes it's not too good to dwell too much on the past, you know.
No, well, that gets in the way of your future.
You got to live in the moment and plan for the future. You know, I think that's
right,
a good way of putting it. You know, living in the moment and planning for the future, like, you know.
The thing is, if you're worrying, alright, or you're thinking about the past, you're living in the past in a kind of way, yeah, and you're not enjoying the moment, or you're not going to enjoy your future. You see, so you must sort of snap out your past, realise it's happened, whatever happened, and whatever mistakes has happened, it's happened.
That's
okay, just learn from it.
Keep going.
And then like move the page over. You know, it's a new day tomorrow. You know, and you know, rather than be crying about what you've done in the past all day long, start enjoying the day, and then your future will get better and better, you see. You know, forget about the past in the kind of way. You know, don't forget it, you know, because it's your past, but don't cry about it in a kind of way, you know.
Yeah.
Or don't get angry about it, or, you know, just let go and forgive it in a kind of way, you know, forgive the people what they've done to you in a kind of way, because that's what I've done in a big way, you know, and that releases you in a kind of way. You know,
yeah, for sure. I think that's very important.
It releases you to have a happy future if you forgive for whatever has happened to you, whoever has done to you, yeah? Understand we're living in a very wicked world, and that person that did that to you, whatever, might not have had a proper upbringing, and he's done something wrong and he's guilty about it too, whatever, you know. It's kind of a wicked world, you know, and I think we all need to understand this, you know, that, you know, the past is the past, get over it, move on, basically. You know, that's what I've done anyway. You know, and I feel much better. You know, there was a number of years I was very angry with my wife every, you know, day after day. You know, and now I sort of like, I'm not. Do you know what I mean? I think I've got so angry, I can't get any angry anymore. Do you know what I mean? It's gone, it's vanished.
Yeah.
You know, I mean, I think I would get angry today for the right reason. You know, there's wrong reasons and right reasons, you know?
Yeah, of course, yeah.
You know, like if you saw something that wasn't quite right, you know? Like a man mistreating a girl or something, you know, you have to get involved and do the right thing a little bit, you know, sometimes, you know?
Yeah.
And I think, like, I think each day that comes, it's all down to choices, you know, and making the right choices for yourself, making the right choices for people around you. And I think it's good to go out and try to be kind to people and try to make other people happy in life. I think that's important, you know, that's what I try to do in life, you know. I think that's what everybody should do, you know. I think people should have more compassion, you know. I think, like, a lot of people are giving up, that's the truth, you know. They work and they don't even want to do the job, and sometimes they don't even want to live in this world anymore, do you know what I mean? They give up, do you know what I mean? And, you know, there's lots of different people out there, but I know that most people out there have got good hearts. I don't care who they are. Most people they're trying. But some people are lost.
Yeah, I agree with that, mate. I agree with that. I think most people are genuinely trying to be good, wholesome human beings.
Yeah.
Most people, if you see what I mean, they're trying to do the right thing, trying to do right by other people, trying to live a good life, trying to help people where they can, and just, you know, be kind and generous and loving and peaceful and compassionate and empathetic towards people, you know. I think most people, I think you're right, I think most people intrinsically have that kind of like built in within them. It's just a natural human thing to, you know, we want to be better, you know, to evolve, to not be the same person we were 5 years ago, if you see what I mean, to grow, you know, intellectually and spiritually and psychologically and mentally and physically and financially and etc. You know, it's all about growth. You know, getting better. You know, so Okay? The chances of success in the future are greater if you apply yourself, you know. So, you know, got to have a plan, you know. Got to be strategic, sorry, with your, you know, decision making, you know, and how you know, whether it be your business, whether it be your career, whether it be, you know, your work life, whether it be your, you know, who, you know, like we talked about earlier, your friends, you know, and also, you know, your partner and etc. You know, your decisions affect all these people, you know, all your loved ones, you know. So
yeah, I'm looking forward to my future anyway. Not that I've got much left, but you've got to enjoy it.
Well, I think that's not something to dwell on too much too though, mate. I think if you dwell on that, if you dwell on the lack of time, the least you appreciate it less.
Well,
I think if you just forget about.
To be honest, I'm not really worried about dying either. Yeah, you know what I mean. You know, I've accepted it in a kind of way. Yeah.
Yeah.
So, you know, I'm enjoying being alive. You know, I think the buzz of having a conscience, you know, and you haven't got no anger in you, yeah, or nothing like that, you know, because I haven't, you know, and I kind of like I'm not racist one bit, right, because I like every baby worldwide, you know, I love them, you know what I mean, I love all children, you know, and I'm sort of like, I feel that because I've got that attitude, I feel beautiful, you know, my spirit does too, do you know what I mean, and my conscious mind does, you know, it's sort of like a flowing feeling, you know, happiness is a feeling, you know, and some people don't even know that. And, you know, I think it's important, like, happiness comes along with positivity as well.
Yeah.
You know, like if you're happy, you're going to be more likely to be positive, you know. So I think it's just important to sort of enjoy the moment, you know. Because otherwise, if you're not going to enjoy the moment, you know, your future's not going to be too good, do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
You know, and, you know, I think life's very beautiful. I think a lot of people take it too seriously. Much too seriously, you know. Some people. But I know that you have got to take it a bit seriously,
Yeah.
you know.
Of course.
You've got to be responsible for your children and so on, you know. So you've got to be a bit serious. But, you know, I think, like, some people are very serious, you know, and they don't enjoy that. You know, you're not going to enjoy life if you're going to be serious all the time.
Exactly. You have to learn how to relax and how to have downtime, and you know, it's good for your mind and your body and your spirit. You know, to have downtime. You've got to have downtime. You know, you've got to have time to recharge your batteries, quote unquote. You know, get yourself back together so that when you do have to face the world again, whether it be work, family, your loved ones, your kids, your wife, whoever, you have to have a little bit of downtime here and there, whether it be, you know, just time on your own for a couple of hours, or going out for a couple of hours, or whatever the case may be, you know. It's important, you know, everyone needs that little bit of
play.
Yeah, that little bit of time alone, just to, you know, or, you know, in a different kind of setting or scenario, just to
well, I think
clear their mind, you know.
I think play is important, you know. I think, like, nobody should give up playing. You know, it don't matter how old you are. You know, it's like, I love playing with children, you know, I used to love playing with my children. And I think it's so fun teaching them how to play certain games, you know. It's good fun. You know, I think we all like playing. You know, and it's kind of like in this world, you're not allowed to play, you know, so much, you know.
Yeah.
It's all work in kind of way. It's a bit serious in kind of way, you know.
Yeah.
But I think it depends who you are again, you know, like what kind of world you're living in. Like my world, as I said, completely different to yours.
Yeah.
You know, you've got a young family. I've done that.
Yeah.
I'm alone, you know. And it's kind of like my future is belongs to me in a kind of way, you know, where you've got to focus on your children's future right now, you know. So I'm a bit more independent than you, I think, in life, you know.
Yeah.
But as your children grows up, year after year, you'll become more independent. You actually get more independent, if you see what I mean.
Of course, yeah.
You know, I mean, some children take years to get independent. You know, they stay home with their parents for a very long time. You know. Like I said, there's all sorts of people out there, isn't there?
True.
You know.
Yeah, and everyone kind of like advances at a different rate, at a different pace, you know. And it also depends on how young you kind of like start teaching your kids certain things too as well. It's like now my son's 10, okay? So I said to him, you know, you got to learn to start doing certain things now by yourself. Like I'm going to start teaching when I'm cooking and doing certain things. You've got to start coming to the kitchen and watching me when I'm preparing the food and doing certain things. So as you get older, you have an understanding, the basic understanding of how to prepare a meal, the steps that are required in order to prepare yourself a decent meal, or you or someone else a decent meal. You see what I mean? To be able to look after yourself, you know. And that's like, you know, that's one you know, just one of those life skills that we always talk about, you know, that you know everyone kind of needs, you know. So like I said, now he's, like you said, now he's getting older. He's becoming more independent. He's 10. And I said to him, you know, and certain other things too. I said, you need to start helping out around the house a little bit more as well. I said, up until this point, we've never really asked you to do any kind of housework apart from like look up, like tidy up your room and